What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy Warfel, and you guys are watching Husbandry.Pro live. Almost slipped up there and did my usual intro for my live stream. That seemed a little weird. Actually, I forgot to hook up my ring light. Hold on one second, guys. Man, I'm like a noob on this. Wondered why I looked so... Oof. Wow. That's a little on the bright side. There we go. That's a little bit better. Now I look better. There we go. Says we got one person in the chat. I think there's two people at least. What's up, Kent? Thanks for tuning in tonight, man. Good to see you. Tara, Voodoo Doll Royals. What's up, Tara? Thank you very much for being here tonight. We are going to be covering the rack view. God, I drew a blank. The rack view of Husbandry.Pro. I'm going to go over setting some aspects up to make that section of Husbandry.Pro a lot more usable, very useful. It's probably, in all honesty, I would say one of the most efficient aspects of Husbandry.Pro. It does save you so much time. Just between being able to do bulk feedings, just bulk everything you can do through there. But we'll dive into that. Just a little bit of background in case nobody has ever seen me. I'm Jeremy Warfel from Warfel's Morphs. I breed ball pythons and carpet pythons. Have a YouTube channel as well, so feel free to check that out. Do a live stream every Sunday. So this shouldn't be my first rodeo, even though I forgot to turn on my ring light. But yeah, it's been a long week, folks. It's been a long week. So let's go ahead. We're supposed to keep these things down to about an hour. So we got 3 people in the chat. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Please make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you're watching this and you're not subscribed to the Husbandry.Pro channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, please. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So here you can see this is my dashboard, how I've got everything set up. Just going to go over a few things here. You can make it that way. All your options are up top here. You can even change how many or which options are up there and what order. That's something that has been going over in another video. So go back and check the other videos, guys. It does make a huge difference knowing how to work this software through and through. Also, I do want to add, use code Warfel60. I will run the banner right now. Use code Warfel60. And it'll get you a free 60-day trial of Husbandry.Pro. Not just the usual 30. You will get 60 days to try it. So give it a shot, guys. It's probably one of the best investments I've had so far that I've done. It's time is money, and this saves you so much time. The ability to keep the records that we can keep with this software is out of this world. And on top of it, the fact that the users help shape the software is a lot. It means a lot. Not all software companies are going to listen to what the people that are using it have to say and how they want to use it. Husbandry.Pro does do that, where if it makes sense to, if it makes sense to change something changing one thing that will help many, as opposed to changing one thing that's only going to help one person, it kind of depends on. That reflects on as how quickly it does get changed, and if it does get changed. But Husbandry.Pro is always evolving, and it's always changing for the better. It's made leaps and bounds since I've been using it, and back when I started using it, I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and now it's even better. So everybody, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat as well. I'll have to reference back to this screen every so often just to see if anybody is dropping anything in the chat. I can't see it from when I'm in the dashboard screen and walking through the Husbandry.Pro stuff. So I'll have to flip back and forth so you guys can see, or so I can see what you guys are all saying. So you can see my dashboard. You can even change what options appear here. I've got my incubator, my thermostats through Spiderweb. That's one nice thing. If you go with, I believe it's the breeder option, the breeder tier as your package, you can link your Herpstat Spiderwebs to your Husbandry.Pro, so you get a constant temp feed of what all your thermostats are reading. So that way it helps, you can help keep track of, if there's any spikes or something goofy going on. I've got today's feeding, so I've got to feed tonight after I'm done with this live. Feeder inventory, which I've really slacked on keeping up with that. Rack and cage list, which this is what we're going to be focusing on tonight. And then my breeding plan for this year. So let's go ahead. And the first things first, I would say the thing that makes the rack view so much easier to use is if you go to the settings here, go down to general settings. Here you can select the color that you want your males to be in your rack and the color you want your females to be, and then a color for your unsexed. You can change this color to whatever you want under the sun. I mean, it's got a whole color spectrum there. You just click and whatever makes you happy, pick it. I have an obsession with green, if you can't tell from my brand colors on top of the color of my room. Got a thing for green, so I had to go with I made the females green, and unsexed is red. Males were blue. So that's the big thing there. And then you want to go down here and just click Save Changes. There's other things that you can select here as far as just your general settings, but that has been gone over in other videos. So reference those videos for setting that stuff up. What up, Zach? Good to see you, man. I thought you would have popped up backstage or something there, but what up, dude? Thanks for tuning in, bro. So having that being said, once you have this color set up, because that does make everything so much easier. We're going to go here, go to racks and cages, and we're going to go to browse racks. Now, this is just, I'm going to let you guys see how my racks are set up. This is my 1065 ARS hatchling rack. All right. You can see the blues, the greens, you can see males, females, all that stuff. This is my 5520 rack, or 5020 rack. You can name them. I'm not reading tonight, obviously. But you can see how you're stacked up male, female wise there. My 5540 rack. And then my carpets, and then another small TGR rack. Now, I'm going to dive into this carpet thing here as well as to why I have these set up the way I do, because this can kind of take place, in my opinion, as the cage stuff too. So let's back up here. We'll go over how to add a rack in. Let me see if nobody commented anything else in the chat. How many people we got watching this thing? Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, please. Greatly appreciate all the support. All right, we got 5 people watching. Awesome. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. So let's go ahead and add a rack, because this is where everybody's going to start off at. Because I actually have a rack to add. I've been saving it just for tonight, and we're going to name this ARS Mini 130. Put a space there. Now, rack type, I always just let it a standard, predefined, complex. I just let it standard. I've never messed around with this predefined or complex. Not exactly sure what that does, in all honesty. I've always just left it at standard. Rows, we've got 13 rows in a Mini 130. And columns, we've got 10. So rows would be basically each row going up in level and height, and then your columns would be going vertical, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going across. So and then you can select active or inactive. We're going to let active there selected, and we're going to click Save Changes. Now, here you can see a list of all of my racks now. Right here, this would be in, let's see, what section would that be under? That would be under the list of racks. So here you can see exactly, the sizes, if it's a cage, if it's active or not, and you can edit all this stuff. You can view it. You can download the QR code, which I'll dive into that as well, because that is a very handy aspect of it. So let's see if there's any. Damn, still no questions from anybody in here. Wow. Come on, y'all. Get active in this. Anyway, so we'll go back here. We're going to go to browse racks again. So now you can see the Mini 130 is there added now. So that looks huge in here compared to what the other racks did. So anyway, when you're in this view, say if you're up, well, we're going to claim we're upgrading. This is actually a huge downgrade. Let's move this guy. And when you're in the screen, if you're moving animals from racks to racks, like upgrading them in size, it's super easy, guys. You just click it and you drag it. And boom, there it is. And now it's in the Mini 130 rack. And you click it and drag it. Placing them is super simple. And this also allows you to see if you're male heavy, female heavy. It doesn't give you a certain percentage, but you can visually see, you know, how you are male, female wise with it being color coded. A lot of these are new babies that are just hatched and getting ready to go off to their new homes here soon. So let's see. Nathan, what's up? Can you have a different number on each row? What do you mean a different number on each row, Nathan? Because I feel like this is you trying to stump me on stuff. Nathan, I don't know why you would want to change row 1 to row 6 or something like that if it's that row, brother. Thanks for trying to screw me up tonight. Yeah. See, this is also one of my channel sponsors for my channel, and also extremely good friend. So what's up, Nathan? Thanks for tuning in, bro. Thanks for trying to stump me and throw me off. I'm just there like, what are you talking about? Why would you want to do that? Anyway, back to business. So the ability to drag and just kind of change where animals are is super effective. If you're doing a lot of shows, it might become, this is one reason why some people don't do this. If you do a lot of shows and you're constantly moving inventory really fast, it does make keeping up with this a little hectic. But I feel as though it's still worth it. It's a nice visual aid. And when you get into doing the bulk feedings and stuff like that, it really becomes super easy then. Let's see here. What else can we? Let's go ahead and we'll just we'll view this. So here you can go. If you click the view button on it, brings you into this screen now. Here's where everything kind of becomes super efficient. Say if I'm doing a feeding tonight, all right, which I do have to feed tonight. I can have everything selected, or I can have where everything's deselected. I like having everything deselected. Reason being, I always get, for the longest time, it took me a little bit to figure this out because I wasn't catching on to this. I would have it on select automatically, and when I would go through, start clicking things that fed, it would mark it as not fed, and it was really messing me up. So, also, it didn't have the items up here correct either. So it was hard learning curve. I learned the hard way. Spent a little bit of time figuring it out. So up here, let's just go check this out. Here, my bulk things are bulk refused, bulk shed, which I guess you bulk shed. Yeah, you might have a bunch of animals going to shed at one time, especially if they're clutch mates. Bulk copulation, chances are, I can see that being useful. Bulk pairing, that is super useful. Bulk copulation, I guess it'd be the same thing. Normally they're probably going to lock up within the first day anyway. Bulk clean, super useful. Bulk weight, I have not used bulk weight yet. I will admit that. Bulk skip feeding, definitely useful. I do like the bulk feed option though, because let's face it, we're all feeding. One of the things customers always ask is, when did it last feed? Having these records, will help you out immensely. Now, over here, you can see, since I have it on select, that everything's selected automatically. Over here, you can see on the right side of the screen, it lists every animal as being fed. So then you would just go down through and you would click off whatever animals didn't eat. So here we could just go down through, do that, and click all of them off. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's however you want to do it. I like it having it that way. Everything's deselected, and I can go through and I can just click what is going to eat or what ate and what didn't eat. I like that method better. It's all on how you prefer to do it. And then you would hit submit. Now, when you would hit submit, say everybody ate, you selected everybody, or if you didn't even have to, if everybody ate, you just automatically have everything selected, which saves you from having to click all that. You hit submit, it will mark everything in that rack as being fed. Or if everything in that rack refused, then you would have it on the bulk refuse option. We'll just change options here once. Bulk refused, and that would make it so it shows everything as being refused on the feeding aspect. So it saves you so much time instead of scanning each individual QR code individually. This speeds the whole process up a little bit. Let's see if there's any questions. Guys, I can't, when I'm in that screen, I can't see this screen. Let's see. So like Tara says, so like I have a combo rack. Some rows have 3 columns, some have 2 or 1. Okay, now that would become, I would think, the complex one there, Tara. So let's go ahead and we'll play with that because I've never done it. And if we can delete the whatever racks and stuff that I make up. So freaking Zach backstage. Let's see. All right, let's go here. We'll add a rack. Now, Tara, this is going over what you were asking. We'll make this complex. Like I said, I've never done this one before. We'll name it complex. We'll make 6 rows. Now, what in the... You see, this is something I've never played with. This is learning firsthand, folks. So let's just see what this looks like. Like I said, I've never done the complex one. So let's go ahead and browse it. View. Maybe I didn't set something up right on that one. Way to go, Tara. You stumped me. Nathan, 1 second, dude. I will get you. Let me star your comment there, bro. Let's see here, because there's got to be a way. Let's list racks. Let's go back to your complex one here, Tara. Let's edit that. Oh, here we go. All right. It would have helped if I would have went down below. So, all right, let's say we've got row number 1 has 6 bins. Row number 2 has 6 bins. Row number 3 has 5. Has 5. 5. All right, we're going to get rid of these zeros because I don't know if that's going to screw things up. 2 and 1. All right. Now we'll save these changes. See, this is learning for me as well because I've not done that yet. So now let's go back and browse the rack. So there, Tara, would be your complex one where it's empty. I mean, granted, everything's empty, but you can click and drag. See, I'll put my carpet right there for you, Tara. Now you own Xena. Oop. Oh, no. Why is that? There we go. All right. So there you go, Tara. And This looks like you can fiddle-faddle some stuff around as well. Maybe I'm screwing things up. So there we go. All right, there we go. So there you go, Tara. That's how you can do that if you've got multiple tub sizes in one rack. So let's see here. No problem, Tara. No problem. Like I said, I've never had to do that. I've never used that part of it with that. So that was interesting to learn with you on that one. Now, Nathan's question. What if some are refused and some eat? So, let me get out of this. That's where the selecting thing comes into play, Nathan. I go through, and maybe Nathan uses this software as well, so maybe Nathan does it a different way. Let's go to something where I'm not going to screw everything up. So let's just go here. We'll go to the carpets. So I have everything as bulk fed right now. So say 2 of them eat. We'll see. Let's see. All right. 2 of them eat. So I'll select those 2 that ate. All right. We got Xander. We got Hercules. I would then hit submit. Then go back, change this to the bulk refuse. Or since it's just one, you could just scan the QR code if you would want. And then you would go and you would just select the one that didn't eat and hit submit. Or if you have multiple that didn't eat, go through, select those, and hit submit. This aspect of it for me saves me a lot of time. Maybe you do it a little bit differently, Nathan. I'm not sure. Oh God! All right, Nathan. Give us a secret tip, Nathan. Give us a secret tip, because I'm sure there's probably some setting that I don't have set up that probably whatever's not selected didn't eat. See, here's the thing with that, though, dude, is that if you feed different things on different nights, you're not always... All right, go click the bulk feed. Yep, bulk feed. Oh, yeah, right there. Marked animals not fed as refused. Yep. Good call, Nathan. Good call. But see, sometimes I feed on different nights, so I can't do that. If I would do that, bro, then... it would kind of mark things that wouldn't even get a chance to feed. See, I beat you to it, Nathan. I beat you to it. I saw it already. But yeah. Now, let me go back here once. Now, when you're... Man, I shouldn't have set up that one clutch. The one thing when you're going through... And let's just go over here to the animals quick. We'll just do this one. We'll edit this. When you're setting up your animals, and this is even more effective when you're converting animals from eggs into animals, you can choose their location. So here you could select whatever rack you want to put those animals into, and then you can select those individual bins as to where that animal should be going. And then it will automatically place that animal in that bin. So I think that is another awesome aspect to the software. You good, bro? You good? I appreciate you trying to help, man. See, I didn't take notice of that little check mark. I'm not going to lie. But I feed like 2 or 3 different nights. So anything that I wouldn't check off, like sometimes I don't always feed one full rack because I don't thaw out enough to feed that whole rack in one night just in preparing for somebody to not eat. So let's go back. See let's go over the cage, the add cage stuff. Now this, I mean, I didn't bother doing this with you guys could see the carpets behind me. I didn't bother doing this just because I set them up as a rack, which I think is maybe I just don't. I don't know. I don't think the cage aspect is as useful because the racks do the same thing. But we'll just, for the sake of showing everybody, we'll make this test 2. We'll make it 3. And let's just make it there. We'll put Xander in 1. And then you can hit save changes. Now, you can go here. I was already there. Now you can see that Xander is now in here. You can go view. There he is. Then you can go select activities that if you fed, whatever, go through all that, select any of that stuff, and then hit save the activity, and it'll log that activity to that animal. But back here once. This cages. All right, let's go. We'll use this as a learning tool too. We'll delete that cage. Go back into the browse racks section. And we'll do this. We'll put Xander back in where he belongs. So click on that empty slot. You can just type in the first couple letters of whatever you're looking for. There's Xander. Click on him. Update and close, and boom, right there he is. He is now in the rack where I want him, where he belongs. Yeah, see, having that auto select like that, Nathan, would be super helpful if you're feeding the whole thing like that. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I will go through the whole rack if everybody's feeding really good and I'm confident that everybody's gonna eat. I'll do that, but normally it's like I'll feed the hatchlings and thaw out enough to do some of the adults or some of the stuff that's eaten weaned and this and that, and it's kind of a little bit spotty back and forth as to where I'm putting everything. So does anybody have any questions? Because somehow this is going really, really fast, which I didn't expect to be able to go this fast because I thought you all would have had more questions. Does anybody have questions on the rack view? The rack view, I think, is really just kind of super. Oh, the QR codes. I almost forgot about the QR codes. All right, I'm going to pull you can make QR codes for each rack. This will you just scan the QR code with your phone, and that basically it brings up that rack in the rack view, and then you can go through and you can do your bulk feeding through that section. I like having those on every rack. I need to redo those cards because those were on the old card system. And Ken, yeah, I don't know how I forgot the QR code thing there. That was definitely one of the nicest aspects of it. But that's back. I made that with the old system. Now they've got the new label maker. Let's go here and there was another Zach and Holly did an episode going over the label making and stuff. So if anybody has questions on that, go back and check that out. Let's see here. It would be under utilities. Yeah, you can go here to label designer, and you can design your own rack label. You can make it whatever you want. Like right now, all I've got is clutch cards. There's a default incubator, clutch cards, and then I've got my normal cards that I use for shows and just on the tubs themselves. So I do need to make a new rack card for the racks. Yes, Kent, I did do the drag and drop thing. You must have been sleeping, brother. You must have been sleeping. But here, actually, while we're in the screen, I know Zach kind of covered it, but it kind of has to do with the racks as well. So let's go ahead. And I don't even know what size to make these things. Let's go kind of big. Actually, no, let's not go kind of big. I think I went this size. That sounds Well, here we can find out real quick. 38 mil. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and we want the QR code. We don't need the sex icon on there because we're not doing any of that stuff. Don't need animal photos. Don't need that, or that. Now let's see here. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out. Click next. I have that all set up already. That's just, how many labels you want per page, all that good stuff. You set up how many you can put on a page, all the different widths. Now, maybe I'm doing this wrong on this one. Here we go. Select all racks. Why didn't? I'll have to play around with that once. Maybe the old way of doing it might still be the better way to do it with customizing stuff in Photoshop. Zach, am I doing something wrong on that one? With doing a rack card through the new label designer. So I would have thought pulling up. Okay, so all right, that's just pulling up the animals. Okay. So all right, let's try this once. We'll do this. I don't want to select any animals. All right. Let's do this once. I think it's in list racks. Here we go. All right. So you could download the QR code. Download it, and then I guess you have to do it the old-fashioned way then. I would have thought there would have been a way to do it the faster way. Zach's backstage kind of going, what the hell? So ignore that, folks. Ignore that. I thought I could be tech savvy. And apparently maybe that's something that since not everybody uses that aspect of it, maybe that's something that kind of slipped under the radar possibly. Maybe we found something that we need to improve. So I'm going to talk to Robert on that one and see what we can do to get that changed, because I think that needs to be something where we can select and print off, and maybe you can do it, and I just don't know that you can. Because I don't see a way to make that an option. Let's go ahead and try this again once. As it should be labeled these. Oh, cage card. Maybe it's just under the cage card designer. Well, no, that's the old one, though. I would think you'd be able to do it through this new one. I'm going to have to talk to Robert on that one, guys. And see what we can come up with to make that better. Yeah, let me just QR code. Show the QR. Here you can expand the QR code to whatever size you want. I'm just going to 4 rows, 2 columns. All right, let's just see. Because now I'm kind of really curious as to why. Yeah. think that's something that might have gotten overlooked, that we should be able to print through here, and we can't. If you go to here, it'll let you pick the rack. You gotta apply it though. It'll let you pick what's in the rack, but it does not allow you to just pick the rack itself and make. Interesting. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to talk with Robert about, because no, it's not. It's kind of, I would have that's something I think should be in there, Nathan. Let's see here. I missed Tara. So do you have to design it in Photoshop first? You can, Tara. Like, the old way of doing it is how I created my original cards. So that designer still does work. As far as I believe it was Cage Card Designer, I think is what I did it under. Yeah, I just did the Cage Card Designer. Let me see here. And then click that in design. So that's how you design them there. But then to put them into actual use, you use the sheet label designer. And then you can select the things that you've done up, like, let's see here. There. For instance, there's the racks that I've done up. And there, it gives you have to go through, choose the file that you have saved as what your rack cards look like, and then it just kind of walks you through that process. But that's something where I think we need to have it in the ability to do that through the label designer, because that's a nice little valuable aspect that might have gotten overlooked possibly. Let me see what else we got. Chris, what's up, dude? Thanks for tuning in. Balls deep, my brother. What's up? Chris, what are you lost on, bro? What are you lost on? If there's something I can help you out with, Chris, just let me know. Yeah, the old designer, Nathan, yeah, you can. The old designers all still work, which is nice. But I think it'd be nice because that new designer is so freaking handy. Everything's like right there. You can customize it just right, and it saves so much time, as opposed to making the stupid thing on Photoshop, because that designer does it right there and then for you. I agree with you, bro. So, Chris, what do you got? What are you lost on, man? Let me know. Ken, what's up, man? Ken says utilities, print cage card. But see, that's the old way of doing it, though, Ken. What we're trying to do is do it through the label designer, because the label designer does a really super clean look, and you can kind of customize it super nice. Freaking Nate. But Ken says utilities, print cage card, and pick rack. So let me see here once. Utilities, print cage card. And see, there you can do it, but I don't know. Yeah, see, you still have to have that original cage card designed. It doesn't go through the whole original thing with the new label designer. But thank you, Ken. Yes, you can do it that way. You can do it that way. Let's see. We'll go back to the browse racks part. You guys have any other questions or anything you guys would like to cover? I know this is kind of off topic a little bit from the rack options here. Okay, yeah, see, all right, at least it's not just me that can't figure it out on that one. I'm going to talk to Robert, guys. I'll message him tomorrow and see what it would take to get that aspect implemented in, because I do like the rack cards. I said a lot of, like, I use this software on the computer and on the phone. It's kind of 50-50 for me as to what I use more. So that being said, scanning it is so much easier. Just pull the phone out, scan the QR code, tap on the screen as to what fed and what didn't feed. It definitely just makes it, doing it this view saves you so much time. And like Nathan had said as well, if you have it so that way, if you do bulk feedings, like where you feed that whole rack that night, whatever you don't select, have it made so that it does automatic refuse feedings. It definitely saves you even more time. If you do it the slow, poor man's way like me, where you don't want to waste anything, possibly because you do frozen thawed, you kind of got to do it the long form way, I guess, on that one, and do bulk feed and bulk refuse. So the one thing I do want to, because this is also, I think, something that I don't think many people, it wouldn't be to me, it wouldn't justify its own episode. But I don't know if there's anybody that's doing an episode that possibly would be showing this off as well. So let's go here and let's show off a carpet, because I think this is very important. So we'll go here and we'll view my male holdback. So there you guys can see. Neat little aspect there. You can see all the photos and all that stuff. Beautiful guy. That's not the part I wanted to show off, though. I did want to show him off, though. But if you go here to lineage, I think this is something that's super important for anybody that's doing like Morelia, anything where lineage is important, chondros, all that stuff. It seems like everybody's very lineage driven. Here it shows you the sire and the dam. You can put your pictures of each of them in there. And then basically it creates its own tree, essentially. I don't have anything that's second generation. So I'm anxious to get that and see how that does fall into it. But the lineage aspect is a nice little part to Husbandry.Pro, because certain aspects of the hobby are very lineage driven. And this just gives you that extra edge. I would like to see it slightly reworked, but for the moment, this is fine. I would like to see it to where it kind of, let me see here. Gotta find her. Here, we'll go to this girl. I would like to see where the lineage trees can be done up something like this. Ooh. To where you actually have pictures in it. Does all these lines and boxes and stuff automatically. I think that would be even cooler to do, but I don't know what goes into that in order to do that as well. That's something I also want to talk to Robert about. But as I said before, this software is designed by the people that are using it, and if it's something that makes sense to do, they're normally pretty prompt at doing it. So nothing's perfect the first time around. So, the lineage thing I think is very important. I think that's a really cool aspect. I don't know who else is doing the lives for husbandry, but that's something where I think it's a very niche thing, but I think it's super handy as well. Does anybody have any questions about the rack view, or do you guys have any questions period about Husbandry.Pro, or different aspects of Husbandry.Pro as well? So there are other videos that have been done. We're doing, it's a series, new host every week, going over like different aspects of it. And Thank you, Tara. Thank you. So I'm going to run this to you guys. Don't forget, if you aren't using Husbandry.Pro yet, go ahead and use code Warfel60. It'll get you 60 days free instead of the normal 30 days free. So I think super nice little perk there. And you don't need any credit cards at all in order to sign up off the bat. Only when you decide to pick a plan and that you're going to become an actual paying member, then that's when that stuff comes into play. But for your trial, no credit card needed, guys. So Tara, Tara, I think you finally got on the Husbandry.Pro train as well, if I'm not mistaken. But Tara, do you have, since you are new to the Husbandry.Pro, Tara, do you have any questions? Anything you would like to have covered, possibly, or even Chris here from Balls Deep? You got anything? Since I know you're the old school, let's put Post-it notes everywhere and look unorganized. Do you got any questions, Chris? If you're still there in the chat. So everybody hit that subscribe button as well for Husbandry.Pro, please. So I'm trying to even think. The rack view stuff is so. I don't want to say I don't want to say it's super simple, but it is fairly simple. There's not a whole lot to really go over with it, which it's probably one. Like I said, it's probably one of the most time-saving aspects of the software. But yeah, it's probably like the easiest thing to set up too. So, and it kind of makes the. All right, here. Okay, so Shane Kelly's got the next one on the 18th, going over creating a clutch and converting to animals. That's going to be a good one. All right, Tara says, I'm curious as to why when I try to upload a video of an animal, the app, it only works half the time. I was having a slight issue with that too, Tara. Depending how you're doing it, make sure you hit the save changes button, depending how you're doing it. I have noticed I was having the same issue here and there. Normally it goes through. Every once in a while it doesn't. I think also if you don't let the little wheel load up fully and you exit out of it too quick, I think that's the other thing too. I've kind of slowed myself down a little bit on it and giving it that extra time to upload. Ken says, be nice if you could feed a partial rack. You can see what didn't eat in rack. That would be a nice aspect. I'm not going to lie, Ken. I'm not going to lie on that one. That would be a nice little thing there. But then maybe if it were to put like a little bit of red tint over it or something, I guess that might be. I don't know how easy that would. Maybe that's something I'll bring up as well to Robert. I don't know if Robert watches these things afterwards or not. Let me make a note of that because that is a good little thing. The only work around that, though, Ken, and just now thinking about that, would be, God, I keep trying to scroll up on the thing when I'm in the screen where I can see the stuff, is if you go over here to your animals and go to feeding stew, it'll bring up right here's the whole list of everything. I've got 5 pages of animals that need fed tonight. That would be basically this cure all for that. But again, that's not in rack view. So, here then you can just go down through, hit the little bunny button for feeding or hit the no-go for refused. It doesn't allow you to do the bulk feeding that way, but it does. This is the one way kind of, I would say, the workaround that who needs to eat yet and who didn't or who needs to eat and who has eaten. So that's kind of like the little workaround on that one. Kent says he's avoiding post-it notes being this may be okay with it, but Husbandry.Pro is. I completely agree, Kent. Completely agree, man. Husbandry.Pro, best investment I think I've made, in all honesty. All right, Tara says all the photos are on the phone. What did I say? Tara, I would say, I mean, every once in a while I have a photo that I have to upload twice, maybe. But it doesn't happen very often. Okay, Zach's saying the quick activities screen. So let's go here once. God, Zach, now you're going to make me think here. Quick activities, there we go. Okay, so here you could go through and select clean, feeding, water change. Oh, okay. So you can go down through there and select stuff that way as well. Okay. But now, but it doesn't tell you. It does tell you the date, though, when it's next due. Meh. Okay. See, I do agree with you, Ken, on the. It'd be nice if it would tell you in the rack view, but that might be a little complicated. A lot of times, I will be honest. I do go just use the today's feeding stuff and pump everything into where it's going. Like I said, I always thaw out less than what I need. But I just go down that list and then I go into rack view and click through who ate, who didn't eat, all that stuff. I said I'll show it again for everybody else that maybe might have missed it. We'll go here. Select all. We'll do a bulk feed. So just say all these guys ate. Now, why did where did the what? Okay, there we go. All right, now we're see now there you can have that marked to where animals not fed or refused. So everything I didn't click on would be technically refused feed then at that point. So it does both functions at one time. But we're not going to do that because all of those ate last night. So we're not going to screw that up. A toggle would be a good idea. Toggle wouldn't be a bad idea either, Ken. Yeah, you can go. Yes, Zach. Yeah, you can select the all feeding, then just submit it. Yeah. No, I did know that, but I was just going through if things weren't feeding. You can set that screen to not show them. Oh, so. Oh, okay. All right. You demand, Zach. You demand. Thanks for popping backstage, bro. All right, so let's go. Quick activities. And you can select feeding. Wait, I didn't do that right. How did you say to do that, Zach? That's green. Sorts not fed. Okay. Is that in the filter, Zach? Maybe it's in the filters. Let's see here. Let's see. I thought I had my stuff all. I thought I had everything all figured out here, and I did end up getting derailed. Zach, where's it at in this thing for the or maybe that would be for feedings. Let me go back here. Oh man, newbies! This is what happens when you let untech savvy people run a live stream about tech. Ken says, for the people reluctant to switch over once your animals are added and your racks are set up, it is easy. This is very true, yes. Kent, that's very true. So putting your animals in is the most, I'm going to say, the longest process. Okay, all right, Zach's showing us. Let me. Oh, jeez. All right, so that, yeah. Well, hold on here. I see that didn't work on my screen. I'm trying to do what you were doing, Zach. Feeding notification. Oh, jeez. Feedings due. Apply. That's better. Okay. I got it now. Okay, we were doing it the way so that way you can see the exact animals in a different way. Be going to the thing animals quick activities, and then in the filters, go to here where it says feedings due. Yes. Like an idiot, I need to learn to read, and then boom, apply. There's the 3 pages of animals I need to feed tonight. Man, tell you what, this is what happens when I think I know what I'm doing, guys. This is what happens when I think I know what I'm doing. But no, that's basically the rack, you guys. Like, it's super simple, super easy. Probably, like I said before, saves you the most time, in my opinion. It's important to keep these records. A lot of customers like having these records, so make sure you do try to keep them up to par, and it gives them that peace of mind that, you know, unless you've got nothing else better to do with your time, you're not going to falsify the records. And on top of that, there would be no point to it. But it also helps to add that little extra touch of professionalism as well, having those records. So just keep that in mind. Does anybody have any questions? Let me remove this here. Does anybody have any questions on this stuff? Or any more, or any other questions that maybe you guys can stop me on? We are at that 1 hour mark. So if nobody has any other questions, which is, this part's very straightforward. It's super simple to set up. Tara threw me that curveball with the different size stuff, so we did go through that. So guys, if anybody's watching this on the replay, you want to know how to set up something that's got different size tubs all throughout it, but all in one rack, go back to in the video, we do go over the complex rack system. I think that's going to be it, guys. All right. Next week, 6/18, we've got, or in 6/18 at 7 p.m., we've got, and that's Eastern time, guys, Shane from Kelly from Small Town Exotics, going over creating a clutch and converting to animals. That is another aspect that will kind of tie in nicely to this as well, because you select where those animals go, and boom, they go right into the racks as you're converting them into animals. So that's a nice little tie-in to this. But all right, guys, that's going to be it. I greatly appreciate all of you guys coming out here, hanging out, going over this. Thank you as well for helping me learn some aspects of this that I didn't use before. Now I've got some other, a little bit more knowledge about the software. I thought I had it kind of down pat. But hey, we learn something new every day. Tara, thank you very much, dear. Greatly appreciate your love and support. And your baby carpet will be ready for you at the barbecue. You'll be able to take it. So that's gonna be it, guys. Make sure you guys do hit that like button, please. Please also hit that subscribe button. Is a big plus to make sure you guys hit that subscribe, because these videos are going to be coming out weekly. I don't know how long the series is going to last. Obviously, you can only go over this stuff so much, but I do think it is a super nice, handy aspect of going over the software. And if anybody does have questions, feel free to reach out to the Husbandry.Pro team. You can always hit me up as well over at Warfel's Morphs. I've got some tutorial videos as well going over stuff. So feel free to check that stuff out. If for some reason your questions aren't answered on these, maybe I somehow covered it on that. But this could be it, guys. Greatly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys. Little self-promotion. Sunday, my channel, I've got a live guest on 8 p.m. Eastern, guys. So make sure you're there. Come check it out. And that's going to be it. Have a great weekend, folks. And make sure you guys tune in next week for Shane Kelly.